Hey Roanoke, welcome back for another episode of If You Noke, You Know, a municipal podcast brought to you by the City of Roanoke and Roanoke Valley Television. I'm your host, Carol Corbin, and I'm your tour guide for all things Roanoke. You know, we're going behind the scenes to learn more about what's happening around the city, and we get to talk with some pretty fantastic people that I get to call my coworkers. And our new format for If You Noke, You Know really focuses on bite-sized topics and gets you in and out in just a few minutes. So let's find out what we can learn in about 10 minutes. I'm here today with some pretty awesome guests. I have Marc Nelson from Economic Development and Leigh Weitzenfeld from our Office of Sustainability. Marc, Leigh, welcome to If You Noke, You Know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And so one of the things I do like to do before we kick off why we're here is have you introduce yourself. Can you give me just a little background on what you do for the city and why you're here?
Leigh, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Leigh Weitzenfeld. I'm Sustainability Coordinator for the City of Roanoke. I've been working for the city for just about 11 years, 3 years in my role as Sustainability Coordinator.
Great. Marc.
I'm Marc Nelson. I'm the Director of Economic Development. I've been in that position for about 4 years, and I've been with the city since 2011. I have a team of 9 that covers the economic development spectrum from retail and commercial and industrial to innovation and affordable housing.
And just real quick, a question you weren't prepared for, but why local government? Why are you working in local government?
Well, I've always worked in the environmental field, and local government gives me a chance to connect the environmental field and the local community to share issues that affect their lives and to build resiliency.
Love it. And Marc?
For me, it's the perfect intersection between public service and helping the development community. What we were able to do is provide incentives and governmental help and aid developers in beautifying and enriching our community.
I love it. So we're going to hop right into what we're here for today in this episode, which is CPACE. And you know, government at all levels, we love our acronyms. So
We do.
Leigh, can you tell us, what does CPACE stand for?
CPACE is short for Commercial Property Assessed Clean Energy.
Yeah, CPACE works. I like it.
It's much more succinct.
Yeah, love it. So it's time for a little TLDR. Leigh, tell us, what is CPACE?
Okay, well, first of all, it's a powerful economic development tool that helps to revitalize our aging buildings. It also supports new development and construction. It increases property values for commercial building owners and provides clean energy.
So how does it do that? Like, what does CPACE do?
Well, it is a financing tool where commercial property owners, and this could be large buildings, this could be retail operations, even nonprofits and agricultural businesses can take advantage of this.
Okay.
And so they can use it to upgrade equipment, as well as do renewable energy, green infrastructure or EV infrastructure on site. So there's a whole host of things that can be used for it.
So a program that kind of helps you finance to either get into more of that, sustainable infrastructure or to upgrade the infrastructure that you already have?
Yes, and those upgrades, especially with the cost of rising electricity capacity transmission costs, it actually helps save money for the property owner.
Perfect. We love saving money. So I may ask a few different things here, but really I want to know, how did we become a CPACE locality? Like, how did Roanoke get into this?
Sure. We are actually the 22nd locality in Virginia to join the state CPACE program, and I think by the end of spring, there will be a total of 26. So it is a program that is statewide. It is run by Virginia Energy, and Virginia PACE Authority is their administrator. And so they actually run the program.
And so Roanoke got involved. I guess council sort of voted to adopt that we would participate with CPACE?
That's right.
Got it. Okay. And so, Marc, coming in from the business perspective, like, how could businesses in Roanoke benefit from CPACE?
Well, I think a lot of the things that Leigh had touched upon already, it helps revitalize aging buildings and infrastructure. It'll increase value. It'll boost revenue. But I think the most important thing it's going to do is it's gone over time from a retrofitting financing tool to a gap financing tool. So now you can rely on it as part of your capital stack going forward. And one of the things that it does, we need to be innovative here because the 11 years that I've been, actually since I've been here since 2011, we've seen a lot of the low-hanging fruit in terms of building redevelopment kind of come and go. All those buildings have built out, they're full. So now we have the kind of harder projects that we need to focus on. And something like CPACE can be a valuable capital stack tool to be able to move some of those difficult projects forward.
Okay, and so what kind of businesses, I guess, in your opinion, would most likely be ones that could utilize this program?
Well, that's the good thing about it is I think it's a pretty far-ranging program. It can be something that agricultural companies can use. It's something that can be used by industrial manufacturing. If it's the right project, it can be used for retail or commercial. It can be used across the spectrum. I think that's what makes it so valuable.
That's amazing. So, Leanne, if there's a business owner out there and they're looking to learn more about CPACE within Roanoke, how can they reach out to us and find out more?
So there's several ways. They can contact my Office of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency at 540-853-5430. The Economic Development Office, you can look online to read about CPACE at bizroanoke.com and reach out to them at 540-853-2715. And then also looking at Virginia PACE Authority on their website. It's just www.virginiapace.com. And Abby Johnson is the executive director there and is a great help.
Perfect. That's great. So I know that this kind of feels like a sprint and not a marathon of such a quick episode, but really, is there anything else about CPACE that we haven't had the opportunity to talk about that you just want to make sure that our listeners are aware of?
I think in the context of changing climate and increasing energy costs, this is a really good tool that will allow business owners to reduce their energy use and improve resiliency. And that is very important to strengthen our local economy.
Yeah, I think from a development standpoint, it's important to look at the practical implications of it, to really understand what the program is and then learn more about it. It's a very interesting program. It's a very in-depth program. And the more people and developers can learn more about it, the better it'll be.
Love that. So Roanoke, if you have a friend or a family member or you just know a business owner or developer, why don't you mention CPACE? Reach out to Leanne, reach out to Marc, learn more. This is a great tool for our area, and it'll be a great tool to help, as Marc said, sort of provide innovation to some of the development and redevelopment opportunities that we have. And this was a quick 10 minutes. I hope you want to learn more about CPACE. I know I do. And we'll catch you next time for a new episode of If You Noke, You Know.